Yeah, so this is one of the big fines that happened, the biggest one in NFL history. Here's some other things that are making news. The New England rookie cornerback Logan Ryan was fined $10,000 for grabbing at his groin at the end of an interception return against the New York Jets. Ryan, playing for the injured, good luck trying to say that name, picked off Geno Smith late in the first quarter and returned it 79 yards for a touchdown. Denver defensive tackle Kevin Vickerson was docked $10,000 for hitting Indianapolis offensive lineman Samson, good luck with trying to say that, during an extra point attempt in the third quarter of the Colts' 39-33 win. Just seems like every week, Jeff, every week the NFL is just hitting players and fining them for inappropriate gestures or something like, or even hits, and I don't understand it.
Hey, Browning bastard, that hat is gross. That hat is disgusting.
What'd you do, Browning? Get it at a garage sale or something?
That's nasty. I had to tell you too. I posted on there. I said that is gross.
I put barf.
Yeah, I know. I saw that. That was great. Beautiful. You know, that's a beautiful thing right there. But that hat is disgusting. Where's my freaking Pelicans hat? Damn it.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, the NFL has been hitting players and docking them and getting fined. If I was an NFL player, I would be so upset if I got fined. I'd be like going, this isn't fair. The NFL's been going on for years, and you've seen quarterbacks and players get hit and tackled. But ever since like last year, Roger Goodell has been putting out stricter rules with the players, and then of course an anger management course with fans where you have to take a few hours. And I still know, Jeff, you're still shaking your head about that. Like, Jeff gets kicked out of the game. Jeff, prepare to take an online anger management course for a few hours.
Lots of luck. That's really going to happen. Listen, I've been to anger management classes before. I'm not doing it again.
They'll say, work on your communication. You gotta work on your communication.
You know what? You want to know something? The anger management class that I went to, the facilitator made us sit there and shut up for 3 hours, 4 hours. I think it was like a 4 or 5 hour class once a week. You couldn't talk. Maybe it was even longer than that. Maybe it was an 8 hour class. I don't remember. You couldn't talk. You had to sit there and listen to him speak for the 3 or the 4 or the 8 hours you were there. You weren't allowed to say a word. What are you, shitting me? Really? Really?
Sit there.
Right. You're putting somebody who has anger in a course for anger management and you're not letting them speak? That's going to make them angry. Jackass. I barely made that course through the skin of my teeth, dude. I had to buy. There were so many times where he had to tell me to shut up. Because you expect me to sit there for 8 hours and not say a word?
Mm-hmm.
Not nothing? From the time you walk into class, you can't even say hello or hi when you walk into class? You just got to sit there and shut up? What, are you kidding me?
Yeah, the only thing you can do is maybe just twiddle your thumbs or read a book, and it would be
you have to sit there and watch him talk and listen to him. So
you'd be so sleepy sitting there for 8 hours.
Are you kidding me? I got smart, man. I took a little freaking Walkman with me and put it on the side and put it in the ear he couldn't see. I was listening to the music. Make believe I was listening to him. The hell with his ass.
But that's what Roger Goodell has been saying, that he's trying to become very strict with players making cheap shots and hits and immature gestures and stuff like that.
That I'm okay with, but the cheap shots and you're not giving them an area to hit anybody. You're telling them to go low, they go low. Somebody gets an ACL, done for the year. Somebody gets a broken ankle, done for the year. You're hurting the game more than you're helping the game.
I can't wait till Roger Goodell is done. What's next? Is he going to start changing everything around and saying, now I'm going to change it to the National Flag Football League because nobody's obeying my rules since I'm commissioner of the NFL?
I'm telling you, he's hurting the game more than he thinks he's helping the game.
Paul Tagliabue was a good man, a good commissioner. I almost said manager, but good commissioner.
And they're not really.
Paul Tagliabue was Pete Rozelle.
And as far as I'm concerned, they're not really worried about the bad hits, okay? Because they don't act like it is. Because in that lawsuit that the NFL lost, they don't have to show proof of any stats that they have to anybody. Now, if you were really looking out for people's well-being, you would share the information you have.
Very true.
So what does that tell me? That tells me that the NBA is really the NFL, not the NBA, but the NFL is really in it for the money.
Yep.
And, and not the player's safety. Because if they were in for the player's safety, they would share the report that they have of all the research that they've done about all the injuries. But they're not, and they don't have to, because that's the way the lawsuit was. So they're just out for the money. So knock all this bull crap out about the bad hits and just go back to the way football used to be 10, 15 years ago, and everybody will be happy.
Hey, Shocker, Browning, how would you both feel if you were at an NFL game and you got thrown out for bad language or rude behavior, then you had to sit and take an anger management course for a few hours? I just would hate that if that happened to me. And I'm going, all right, I got your point. You kicked me out.
I'm not doing it.
Why do I have to take a course? Why don't you just take my tickets away or something? I can just go home and watch it on I guess from now, I remember what you said last year, Jeff, when I did that topic. You were saying, oh, you know what I can do? I'll just sit in my studio and watch it on TV if it's not going to be fun to go to games anymore.
That's what I do. Why bother to go to the games? You're right, Shocker. Shocker, you're absolutely right. F them. Screw them all. You're absolutely right. The only reason why I went to that football game last year, the Chargers-Raider game, is because my brother-in-law gave me the ticket.
Yeah.
And said, come on, let's go. Me, you, and little Ronnie. So the three of us went. We had some fun. Otherwise, why? Why deal with that? I hate dealing with that. I hate it. The only time I liked going to games is when I was sitting in the press box up in Kansas City for the Royals and Chiefs games. It's the only time, and the hockey games too. They're minor hockey team. I sat in the press box and did all that. I love that because I didn't have to deal with the crowds really. I go in through a special door. I go into a special area. I go up a press box and more. I don't have to deal with nobody really. We have our own bathrooms. We got our own food. Especially in the football and the baseball parks. You got your own section, your own bathrooms. You don't have to deal with the fans at all once you step into the press. It's beautiful. You go down a secret entrance. You have different elevators in them. It's freaking beautiful. It's great. You don't have to deal with all that crap. Go into the locker rooms, you don't have to deal with any of all those fans and stuff. That's why I like doing it. But going to a game as a fan, hell no, man. I can't do it no more unless somebody gives me tickets. Otherwise, I'm not going because why deal with all those morons? I'd rather watch it on TV.
The next topic, we go back to Major League Baseball. Don Mattingly, as I pointed out in my update, will return for the final year of his contract with the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Won't.
And, Jeff, I'm going to say it's
won't.
a good move for the Dodgers.
No, he
Go
won't.
ahead.
No, he won't. No, he won't. That's just what they're saying now. There's still plenty of time before spring training starts. No, he won't.
Well, you got to keep in mind, remember, the Dodgers at one point during this year, back in June, they were 30-42. They were pretty much out of this whole pennant race, but they kept it together, and Mattingly's job was very close to being on the line. The Dodgers became the hottest team in baseball, and they took St. Louis to the 6th game, but ended up losing last Friday night. So they know perfectly well that they're saying, let's just give him one more year, and then maybe Mattingly will say, I'm done with baseball. I had a great run. I played from 1982 to 1995 with the Yankees. Then I was with the Yankees coaching. I coached them.
Here's the deal, Sean. If you're a manager, and I don't care what team it is, the Yankees, the Dodgers, the Red Sox, the Mets, the Braves, the Blue Jays, the Orioles, I don't care who the hell you are. No manager likes to go into the baseball season on a one-year contract, that being his last year. No manager does it. No team likes to do it either. They just don't do it. I am not, I am not 100% sold on Don Mattingly returning to the Dodgers because of that press conference the other day with Mattingly and the GM. And Mattingly sitting there ripping the GM, ripping the team again and again and again and again. And the general managers just sat there. They were sitting on separate ends of the table. They did not look at each other. They don't like each other. Mattingly, if I'm Mattingly, I'm saying, listen, this is going to happen. One of two things are going to happen. Either you are going to give me an extended contract or I'm leaving, because I'm not going to manage on a one-year contract. I believe the last person to manage a baseball team on a one-year contract, except for Joe Torre, who went out because he wanted to leave, except for, managers like that, was Art Howe of the Oakland A's in 2000 when they made their run. Have you ever seen Moneyball?
I have seen parts of Moneyball.
During that Moneyball run, Art Howe was on a one-year contract with the Oakland A's. That year after that, he got fired.
Yeah, he got fired, after the 2001 season,
Right.
and then they went with Ken Maka.
Right.
And Maka became the next manager.
Right. Nobody wants to be on a one-year contract. They even showed it in the movie. If you've seen the movie, you know why. No manager wants to be on a one-year contract. Okay? It rarely ever happens. Look, the Boston Red Sox fired whatchamacallit after his first year, and he had how many more years left?
It was a multi-year deal with Bobby Valentine, and then after all the drama that Valentine caused, and I'll never forget his press conferences and his radio interviews where he just exploded, and I was like saying Jeff was right. It was a mistake for the Red Sox to bring in Valentine, and then they let him go, and then they brought in a very good man to manage the team in John Farrell, who I believe will get the American League Manager of the Year.
So we'll see what happens with that. But I'm telling you, no manager likes to do it. So and Don Mattingly is just the manager, just like everybody else. He doesn't want to be there for 1 year. He wants to be there for 2 or 3 more years. He wants to see this whole thing through. Me personally, I don't think the GM likes him, and I don't think the GM wants him there. They already fired his right-hand man in Trey Hillman. They fired his ass. They're going to fire some more of his guys. He's going to have no choice. And I would not be shocked if Dusty Baker is the next manager of that team. I'm just saying. Well, you got nothing to say about that, Sean?
All I'm saying is that the Dodgers, that was an awful press conference.
It was terrible. Somer asks, hey, Sean, what's the matter? What happened to your Sox last night? Too much fried chicken in the clubhouse? They're just ripping you left and right, aren't they?
At least we're there, unlike the Rangers or the Reds, so shush it. At least we're there. The next topic we get to, the Washington Nationals hire the new manager, and they picked Matt Williams to be the new manager of the team. What do you think, Jeff?
Matt Williams?
Matt Williams will be the new manager.
Hey, when you're out there in Washington, would you see if you can get an interview with him? You'll be out there, right?
Yeah.
Okay, see if you can get an interview with Matt Williams. You might walk into him walking around out there. If you see him, you know what he looks like. Not a lot of people know what he looks like. You know what he looks like. If you see him, you go up to him and you start asking him questions. Okay?
Well, Somer, I know who your teams are. God. Yeah, I will do that.
Yeah, you got to do that because Matt Williams is a cool guy. But the Washington Nationals, what, Davey Johnson's out? I guess Davey Johnson didn't want to be there no more, huh?
Mm-hmm.
What's up with that?
Well, Davey Johnson is like Jim Leland. He was
Williams.
like in his late 60s and early 70s. So he's probably saying, I've had my run, done a good job as manager. I won a World Series in 1986. I took the Baltimore Orioles to a couple American League Championship Series. I took the Washington Nationals to the playoffs last year. So he probably feels like his run is over with. And it's also been an interesting week for baseball, too, because I was going to ask you about that, Jeff. I wasn't here on Monday to do the show, but your thoughts on Jim Leland stepping down as manager of the Detroit Tigers.
What, are you reading my mind? I was completely shocked.